This is 5 on your side at 6. Focused on you.
The cost to clean up radioactive waste in Coldw Creek is soaring far higher than we first thought. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush. Ann Allred has the night off. A new report from the nonpartisan Government Accountability Office estimates the cleanup cost has more than doubled. The new price tag, more than $400 million. The scathing audit found glaring issues with the Army Corps of Engineers and its handling of the project. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, is live in Florissant, where cleanup efforts continue. Mark.
Mike, when it comes to the cleanup at Coldw Creek, trust is low and the stakes are high. The federal government has all but said, we put those toxic chemicals there, left them there for decades, and now people have cancer as a direct result of it. Now a new nonpartisan report is giving victims the validation they never wanted.
Validation doesn't ever feel good. People often think differently because, oh my gosh, you're doing it,
Just Moms STL met at Karen Nichols' home the day after a new report detailed the cost of cleaning up radioactive waste near where she grew up.
The Army Corps has only cleaned up 2 miles thus far of a 14-mile-long creek.
The report reveals the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers had $182 million left over it could have spent on cleanup efforts last year, but didn't.
This report shows us why we shouldn't trust the Army Corps of Engineers. Getting this cleanup in North County expedited has to happen.
Kristen Camuso now works full-time advocating for a cleaner environment. Other new details in this 83-page report shocked her.
I was actually surprised to find out that they are having risk management and budgetary issues and that they're not really falling in line with proper estimates on cost.
Government officials blame inflation for cost estimates ballooning by $1 billion nationwide, but the cost of doing nothing could soar even higher.
I was exposed to the radioactive contaminants and I have several autoimmune diseases.
I'm also a cancer survivor.
Compensation for victims cleared the Senate and could soon get a vote in the House. For these families, that would cover the cost of tens of thousands of dollars in medical bills.
I don't know when that help will arrive, hopefully sooner than later.
The Army Corps of Engineers says it has received the Government Accountability Office's report and is currently working to address their recommendations.
There just is no way that they can look this community in the eye anymore and say that, hey, we're doing things that are protecting you. I don't think they know where it all is.
Congressman Cori Bush's office says in a statement, quote, the findings show that the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is not only leaving money on the table as a result of mismanagement, but there's a strong need to build trust and improve communication with community members. Someone from her office and Senator Josh Hawley's will do just that, hosting a town hall around this issue at the Trinity Church in Florissant here at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. Live in Florissant, Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.
These have unknowingly been paying for weapons of mass destruction in North Korea. The St. Louis division of the FBI says it cracked the international scheme, and our Christine Byers explains how it worked and how businesses can protect themselves.
These websites may look like legit companies that offer to supply IT workers to companies. But the St. Louis division of the FBI says it's a scam. Agents discovered people posed as IT workers and then gave their wages to North Korea to help pay for weapons of mass destruction. Special Agent Jay Greenberg says the FBI has already seized about $1.5 million.
We know that the vast majority of these thousands and thousands of IT workers from North Korea are mostly located in China.
Greenberg says that there are middlemen involved in this scheme who might not know it. He says the workers would essentially convince the companies that hired them to send hardware to American households. And then behind the scenes, the workers would pay American homeowners to simply set up the equipment for them.
That's how these IT workers are able to then sort of telework from China.
Court documents show the scheme unraveled when a St. Louis area victim who set up hardware in his home grew suspicious and called the feds.
If you are hiring IT workers either for mobile application development or specific software development at point of need, and you do not have a robust background process to ensure who they are, more likely than not, you have some of these North Korean IT workers on your contractor payroll.
Scott Baucom, a VP at Bayer, says his company had a near miss with a fraudulent company.
If you're in high technology, you need to be paying attention to these kinds of threats. You may, in fact, be a target.
Ann Greenberg says the investigation isn't over.
There will be some additional steps that we would expect in the ongoing investigation, so stay tuned.
Christine Byers, 5 on your side.
The FBI says there are several ways companies can protect themselves. Among them, demand to see your IT workers in a video chat and then ask them to show a form of ID. Also, you can lock down remote access capabilities on the hardware provided for remote work. A South St. Louis man is being held on first-degree murder charges after police say he approached officers who were on another call and told them he killed his roommates. Police say Edward LeBrier gave officers the address and keys to a house in Wyoming and said the victims were in the kitchen. Officers went to the home and found 2 men dead inside. They'd been shot. One of the victims was 77 years old. The other was 63. The war between Israel and Hamas is affecting people here at home. Anti-Semitic material is spreading on social media, and the Ladue School District said some posts are resurfacing among students. Our Justina Cornell joins us now in studio with details. Justina?
Yeah, Mike. So a Ladue High School parent actually reached out to me concerned about posts on Snapchat. A spokesperson from the school said these anti-Semitic posts were from last year and have resurfaced. Now, I'm told some parents don't want to go on camera fearing backlash, but they still want to educate their students.
It's a destination for discovery.
I really think 6th grade is a great gateway in.
The St. Louis Holocaust Museum is a spot for students to be a sponge, to soak up history.
It's something that they can see as the choices of human beings and where hate can lead. If we don't stand up and speak out, we can see where that language and where those thinkings can really take us.
Some of the hateful language still surrounds us.
I think it's so easy to share misinformation.
Just this week, a Ladue High School parent sent Snapchat photos circulating among students. One post said, "Israel are the new Nazis." Another references the KKK and Hitler. A school spokesperson said they've addressed the problem and even provided material to teachers to have conversations with students.
You can't control what is shared with you, but you can always control what you share.
Sharing an educational message is the museum's motive.
There's a weight to our words.
Some words can weigh heavy.
Be aware that when you put something on social media, it is there forever.
That's why Dr. Bart Andrews with Behavioral Health Response reminds parents they are also teachers.
What kids do is they're looking at the environment around them, and they're looking to signals to people that they respect and trust. That's why it's really important that we're, as adults, as leaders, as teachers, that we're careful about how we're talking about these issues, right? Teenagers aren't really good at recognizing nuance for a lot of different reasons. Their frontal lobes haven't developed as much. So it's incumbent upon us adults to really model appropriate support and appropriate political conversations.
Beyond pupils, we're told everyone can learn from these lessons.
To be cautious and careful with what you say, and to lead with kindness before you lead with anything else.
And before the latest war, Ladue School District had already scheduled a Holocaust survivor to speak to students. We're told that survivor is scheduled to meet with them next week.
Justina, thanks. A federal court has approved a $3.1 million settlement in a debtor's prison class action lawsuit against St. Anne. The suit accused the city and at least 12 neighboring communities of a coordinated scheme to jail people who couldn't afford to pay traffic fines, fees, and cash bail. The settlement money will be distributed to more than 35,000 people who were jailed in St. Anne between August 9th, 2011 and November 14th, 2022. The settlement also requires St. Anne to forgive all fines, fees, costs, and surcharges that people racked up between August 1st, 2011 and December 31st, 2014. The Baldwin police chief is on paid administrative leave. The Board of Aldermen voted unanimously in a closed meeting last week to place Douglas Schaeffler on leave until further notice. City leaders are not commenting on what was behind the move, saying it is a personnel matter.